Hi, welcome back to the channel, TrainStation 2. Alright, as Count Dracula mentioned, your Afterlife post 100% will be hell. Alright, I hope you have collected this bonus keys from that code I've shared earlier in the video. If not, this is the code again. Please claim them early. There's expiry date to it. Alright, so this is really a struggle. Didn't expect this with normal time of 12 hours late, but you know what? It's all the way at the bottom of the rank. It just means that people have started probably 2 hours earlier or even 3. So getting up to speed immediately, we need to really work very hard, and as usual at the start it's always tough because everything is packed to the brim, and we don't have really much space to move about. So I'm going to make sure shift all these things out before we can get the trains free up, and the dispatchers can start doing deliveries. Alright, so I better get going, do the deliveries, otherwise things aren't moving. Alright, so can see me shifting out the items already. Oh god, difficult. Must be really a torture to do all these missions, because all these deliveries are very small quantity movements because of the small capacity. So I always urge you to upgrade your trains whenever possible, especially the rare trains, given the fact that they are small capacity. So likewise for common trains as well. So common trains or rare trains are the ones that you should really appreciate to upgrade. And that's it. Do not neglect a good amount of gold to be collected from the legendary train. So always have a 80 legendary train in every single region, so that you can get the maximum gold out of it. Alright, so that is in terms of train upgrades. So that's it. Am I basically not prioritizing the epic train? Yes. Why so? Because the epic train comes with a normal one, 12 capacity. That's for the region, and if I'm not wrong, a bit higher when you get the event ones. So that's it. It is really timed, and then you get stuck over again. It's always the rare trains and the common trains that takes a long while. Just imagine this, if the delivery quantities, although it may not be huge, 200 for example, and they only require common trains. So if you have 4 capacity common train, just imagine this, you have to have 50 trains out. You know how long that will take? That will take you a really almost like 8-9 hours or so if you are really small quantities of train, and of course small capacity of train, and you have limited dispatches. So this is why I always emphasize that if you really want to win, upgrade your common trains, upgrade your rare trains. This is key to it. Okay, so I always have collect the event trains for common train that has a ceiling of 30 capacity. So just imagine this, if it's 200 and you have 30 capacity, 7 numbers of that, and you have 7 dispatches, you are done within an hour. That's compared to probably 8 or so. So in terms of rare train, likewise, you know, a normal rare train is 6 capacity, and you know, imagine this again, not thinking too much. Let's say they are crazy. They say, oh, 600 quantities, and because that's post 100% is possible, and you have only this 6 capacity train, and you know what? Sometimes this triple restriction. What does it mean? It just means that the region is, example, they'll say 7, and train type rare, and of course engine type electric, for example. So imagine this: you only have 1 rare electric region, 7, 6 capacity, and it's 600 quantities. I think you'll cry. It's almost hell. So that's not possible to do with really not upgrading your trains. But the next question you'll be asking, how to upgrade your region trains, or how to upgrade those trains with the fact that there's limited so-called parts. I would say this, take a look at your previous region, whether there are some of the not fully upgraded rare trains that you can dismantle as a duplicate, because those trains in the previous regions are no longer in use. But why do I say only look at those that's not fully upgraded? It's because every fully upgraded train adds on to headquarter points. So make sure you do not dismantle them, the fact that you lose headquarter points after that. So don't do that. Only dismantle those trains that are not so-called upgraded to the fullest, and then you can spare them, and then you can get back the rare parts. But again, you can be smart with this. You know, some trains in the earlier part of the region, even to dismantle them, you're getting a tiny amount of rare trains parts itself. Then forget about those. The other way is really look at the daily videos and watch it, and then claim. Hopefully you hit some of the rare parts. And during events like this, this is something you gotta think about. There's a priority. Whether are you after event trains, or whether are you after parts. So there are people who actually play it this way. They play events, but they don't claim any train. They only claim parts and coins. So that's also another type of strategy. But for me, you know, but probably you as well, we are all train fanatics, and we will just go after event trains, even though that fact that there were tons of them, and we couldn't use them after move on to the next region. So it is always a balance, a choice of your own. But for me, I really enjoy claiming those trains at the thrill of it. Of course, strategy-wise, I would say that claiming parts prevails, because you know, having more parts, you're having good so-called high capacity trains actually works a lot better in competition. So it is really how you look at things. All right, another thing to look about is really in terms of capacity. We've done with that. Capacity of warehouse. All right, so warehouse capacity is really important. As I said many times in my video, I started off with a very small capacity, and I started really late to realize the 5 building technique. So this 5 building technique is basically living out 5 of those buildings, 4 common buildings of very low level, like level 1, level 2, and then of course a special building in the center of low level as well. So with that, you'll get 4 upgrade requests every time, and then you keep on doing the upgrades. So eventually what you do is that you get population in return, and with the population that hits the next milestone for upgrade of your warehouse, go ahead and upgrade it, save some coins for it, and then grow your warehouse, and then that's how you should do it. If you're still having small warehouse like me, use interim warehousing, as I always mention in the factory input and output tray. Input tray, basically you can cancel the order and convert back to your raw materials. The output tray basically at your warehouse, right? So that's how I work out for using all those warehouses itself. I've talked about warehouse, talk about factories, talk about trains. In terms of competitions, there are multiple ways of doing. I mean, those really excited players, they will do straight up, wait until the start of it, and then join the competition immediately. That is definitely no-no, right? The way to do it is using late strategy. Late strategy applies. Bearing in mind, you need a minimum playing time of 36 hours. I have once painfully skipped a competition because I started too late. Alright, so just bear in mind this. If it's 2 days competition, roughly about 12 hours to be the latest, and if let's say it's a 3 days competition, starting 36 hours late is the latest. But this gap has been plugged by Pixel Federation. They have tried to group you into a group that is predetermined, which means that basically you can't move beyond that group itself. So it just means that when you start, you are already predetermined into the group, and you may be at the bottom rung of that group. So that's how I think Pixel Federation try to plug that gap, because there are a few times I try to start really late, and you know what, people are really like 5-6 hours ahead of you, and there isn't anybody that joins after that. That means that there are a lot of gaps, like assuming there are 25 competitors, I join in like the 20th, and then there are 5 more empty space after me, and there isn't anybody that joins, so I'm the last person in the group to join. So that's what I mean by predetermined group itself, and that means that you'll be 8 hours or 6 hours later than everyone else. It's almost impossible to catch up, not even say top 10. It's really tough. Alright, so that are some of the strategies I always apply in terms of playing these competitions. Starting late is one, but it's been plugged in a way, but I still try to start late, because you know what, if you join those really on time ones, you are fighting against people who are really willing to spend thousands of gems just like that, whereby I don't know, they just buy or they play affiliated games and get thousands of gems. And I've seen really crazy people throwing gems like none of the gems are worth any much value. So for us that we are not able to get gems, we earn gem by gem, watching one video at a time, and you know, during the event we get a bit of extras because it's part of the rewards. And let's also say that we have spent a good number of so-called those gems in the events, 110 for 2 of the factories. All right, these are my current region trains. All right, so thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video and wish you good luck in the competition. Goodbye.